Good evening. If anyone can hear me, if you could please let me know in the chat box. Just want to make sure my microphone's on. Okay, thanks, Facebook friends. Okay, Zoom people, can anyone hear me out there? Let me know in the chat box. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Kim, Myasia. Appreciate it. Joyous. Thank you so much. We'll get started in just a moment. While I'm waiting for additional people to pile in, if you could let me know what areas you are thinking of moving to, it'll help me curtail tonight's discussion. For example, I'm in southeastern Michigan, so kind of a Detroit guy. So grew up in Detroit, so kind of partial to that area. Although I get people from all over the country. Actually, spoke with somebody in San Diego a few moments ago. Joy, Redford, Troy. Okay, great. So all over Oakland County. Good, nice. All right. In addition, while we're waiting, if you're renting, if you could let me know how much you're paying in rent and how many bedrooms you have, just trying to get a idea with regards to where rental prices are. Just heard two-bedroom apartments just surpassed $1,350 a month here in southeastern Michigan. Myasia just moved here from Houston, Texas. Wow. I might question your sanity moving this time of year, Myasia. That's today was I guess, kind of a typical fall day. We've been blessed with weather this summer and fall. So, but never been to Texas, but weather is probably a lot more beautiful there today than here. So looks like, let's see here, two-bedroom apartment, 2,000. Ouch, that's a big one. Kim, two-bedroom, 1,300, and looks like iPhone, three-bedroom, two-bath, 1,100. That seems like a fair price by today's standards, but like anything, it depends on what area you are looking at. So let me get my camera on here. And okay. So Sterling Heights, 1,300. That doesn't seem like a bad price for Sterling Heights. Good. So let's see. We've got Oakland County, Redford, Troy. Good. Anybody looking in the Detroit area? Gotta still have some funding left for a big program available in Detroit right now. There is the Harris Tobias Fund. Carla Jones, got it. Yes, you're okay. iPhone, your daughter. So Detroit, there is a program that came out a few weeks ago, and I am working directly with a lender on it, and there's still a fair amount of funding available, and it's actually giving $75,000 to buy a house. Crazy amount of money in my mind, but not a ton of money left. But there's probably still another 5, 6 families that could qualify for it. So anybody looking in Detroit specifically, you know what? Oh, there are 9 zip codes that it will qualify in. It's just a tremendous amount of housing. So we are structuring deals right now where I had one today where we were able to, I think it was 182 $2,000 is what we had to do, and we were putting $75,000 down. So they're actually getting a mortgage for like 100 and whatever that math works out to 113,000. So the payments on that might be, $900 a month for $170 or $83,000 house, whatever it was. So crazy low payments for a house and that's buying a really good quality house. So and as you'll learn this evening, I am all about quality houses. So little after 7 o'clock, so I always like to be respectful of everyone's time and get things moving forward. So I am recording this evening. You can catch the replay out on YouTube. It will be under the live stream or live event area if you go there. It's also in the live event area on Facebook where we're streaming that as well. My apologies to my Facebook and YouTube friends, but I'm running solo tonight, so it's hard for me to monitor the chat boxes there as well as the Zoom. So, but I will circle back there before I call it a night and answer any questions you have. So with that being said, let's just jump right into things. Okay, to start off, my promises this evening, there is no sales pitch here. I'm not here to sell you anything. I am all about educational content. So the things we're going to cover this evening. Number one, I'm going to give you access to an application that we built about a month ago. We are up to over 2,500 programs that are available on this application. So, and this is how you can access all the programs that are out there, down payment assistance and grants. I shouldn't say all of them because there are programs that are not on this list, but this will give you a good comprehensive plan with regards to programs that are available across the country. Second thing, we're going to talk about qualifications. What kind of qualifications does it take to get into some of these programs? Number three, how do I structure these transactions so people can get in with just a couple $1,000s out of pocket? And number four, how to find quality homes. I am all about quality. So I've been doing this too long. I do not like it when people buy things that are headaches, okay? Been doing this too long to get those phone calls that say, hey, John, guess what? Don't need that. But what I am all about is good, predictable homes. So we'll give you my feelings on that and what goes into a predictable home. And number five, most importantly, how to get free quality experience representation to help you every step of the way. So I always tell people, please follow my steps regardless of your credit and we will get there, okay? Sometimes it's all about patience and persistence. So, and I like to give you success stories along the way. So, and here is one of my favorite stories, although I have one that just came in a close second that just closed. And oh gosh, we just did a video on it. I wish I would have had that prepared for this evening, but today got away from me and I didn't have a chance to add it. But this is Emily on your screen right now. Emily, absolutely wonderful lady. And it's amazing how close you get to people along the way. I'm actually going to be interviewing Emily on Friday to get her input on how she was able to successfully be the first person through the Detroit Housing Commission to purchase a home with a voucher. So basically, we were able to get Emily into a fair amount of money. She actually purchased this home on Freeland for $117,800. In addition to that, we were able to get $25,000 in down payment assistance that as long as she lives here 3 years, she gets to keep the $25,000. On top of that, we were able to get a 3% down payment grant. On top of that, a $5,000 closing cost grant. And in addition to that, a $500 appraisal grant. So all in, Emily was able to get $33,134 of free money. As long as she lives in this house for 3 years, she gets to keep all the money. And the most amazing part of this, and this is why we're doing an interview with her, is she has what is called a Section 8 voucher. We are able to structure it where her Section 8 voucher is going to be making her mortgage payment. So the government's going to be making her mortgage payment for her. Incredible way. This is just checking all the boxes. And right now, there are several housing commissions here in southeastern Michigan that are making conscious efforts to get other people into this program. So this program has been around for many years, but now they're making a conscious effort to get people across the finish line. And I was so proud that Emily was actually the first person to ever get across the finish line on that program. And so anyway, so happy and so proud for her. But I've got lots of success stories to give you this evening. So who is tonight designed for? Well, this webinar is designed to give renters the tools that are out there and the ways to purchase a home with very little money out of pocket. You'll hear me say this over and over. If you've got a couple $1,000s, we can usually get you into a home. Okay. So I know a lot of people have heard all kinds of promises and things like that before, but I'm going to give you lots of success stories of people that I have recently worked with and how I was able to get them across the finish line with very little money out of pocket. Now, I always tell people there's no real magic. Okay, these programs have existed for many years. The problem is that they were never promoted by the banks. So, and I'll give you a reason of why I do this and how I acquired a lot of this knowledge in just a few minutes. But these programs are real and they do work. I always tell people, just imagine if you could qualify for any of these programs and you never had to move again. You never had to deal with a landlord that might not be taking care of a place or selling a house from underneath you or bumping up rents. There's unfortunately what's going on in the rental market right now is it's sad. What you get for your money is sad. And I apologize if there are any landlords on my webinar tonight, because I know that there's a small percentage that do a good job. I actually talked to somebody today that loves their landlord. So I don't want to paint all landlords with that same broad stroke. But there are also a lot of landlords that get into the landlord business, maybe with the best of intentions, and then things just deteriorate. So unfortunately, not very optimistic when it comes to rentals right now, because there's a big shortage of rentals. So I always ask people, and I'm going to ask you right now, what is holding you back from buying? Is it the credit? Is it you don't have enough money? Or maybe it's just sometimes people just don't have the hope. And I get that. I feel like nowadays we're looking at two generations. They call them the Gen Ys and the Gen Zs. They're actually giving up on home ownership. So the average age of the average first-time home buyer right now is 38 years old. That's 10 years more than where it was 20 years ago. So sad to say, there's a couple of generations giving up on home ownership. So for me, it's an absolute mission to try and educate as many people as possible that these programs are out there, and with sometimes a little work, we can get you across the finish line. So with that being said, here are a couple of people that I've recently worked with. Here's Shannon. Shannon actually, if any of you in the Detroit area, she works at the Kroger at 8 Mile in Wyoming, and we were actually looking for a house within a couple blocks of where she works, because she doesn't like to drive, and I don't blame her. I mean, there's some crazy drivers out there. So we were able to find this house actually on Wyoming, and she purchased this one for $117,000. We didn't qualify for down payment assistance money because we went with a zero down grant program, and she was able to get in with only $2,000 out of pocket at the time of closing. And I thank everybody at that Kroger at 8 Mile in Wyoming. I've actually sold homes to 3 people there. Actually, Shannon was referred to me by another person, April, that I sold a house to using the $25,000 program to the city of Detroit a few months ago. So very, very happy to be a part of Shannon's process there. Here's Kenneth. Kenneth is my new, not favorite, but he's up there with Emily, and I've got a video we just did on Kenneth. Kenneth just closed. Now, Kenneth is a story because he actually called me when he was in his barber's chair. And Kenneth's story is a little unusual because he was telling his barber how he was getting pushed out of the house that he was renting because the person that he was renting with was moving out and the lease was in his name. So the landlord said, hey, lease isn't in your name, you gotta go. So he had to get out in a couple of weeks, moved in with family for a few weeks while we were looking for a house. When he called me from the barber chair, he was actually working with a real estate agent that was trying to force him into buying a house on, I think it was on Braille. It's an area where I grew up. I grew up on Lamphere in the Finkel area. A lot of people, if you're familiar with Detroit, it's a Brightmoor area. He was buying a house, or they were trying to push him into a house a block over. And it's kind of a tough area. So Kenneth didn't want to be there. It was only a $50,000 house. So when I talked to him, we realized, hey, you could qualify for some down payment assistance. His credit was good. So he was on a fixed income. So we were able to get him approved for $10,000 to buy this house on Vaughn. Now, we went out and looked at, maybe a dozen houses. And I have to say, Kenneth was very flexible. So, but I always felt like we could do better until we got to this house on Vaughn. And the inside was just as nice as the outside. The seller did a great job rehabbing the kitchen and the bathroom. So if you have a chance to follow me on Instagram, we did and actually on Facebook, we posted a video of Kenneth too. So very, very happy to be part and proud to be part of Kenneth's journey. He was able to purchase this house with under $1,000 out of pocket, and his payments were coming in at like $760 a month. So very, very happy and excited for him. And here's another one. Here's Nate. Nate purchased this house actually out in White Lake Township. He qualified for a $14,000 forgivable down payment assistance program that actually had a solar package on top of it too. So very, very happy for Nate and Chelsea. They just closed last month. So anyways, what is holding you back from buying a house? Is it the down payment? Is it the money? Is it credit, income? Share it with me. I want to go over that in just a few minutes. So next thing I want to go over my goals for this evening. Now, my goals for this evening are to give you as much educational content and knowledge as I possibly can in hopes that you get enough hope where you're going to schedule a call with me, okay? I love doing strategy calls, whether you're looking to purchase in 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years, doesn't matter, okay? Schedule that call with me. I want to put myself in your shoes, and if you need help, just let me know, okay? I find that there are just a couple of things that hold people back, and for the most part, I think a lot of people believe that money is the key, and it's not. The money is actually the easy part. So if I had to dispel some common beliefs, misbeliefs, I should say, money is not it. These down payment assistance programs will 100% cover your down payment, and a lot of them will cover your closing costs too. And whatever they don't cover, I know all the levers to pull and buttons to push to get additional money to get you across the finish line. Okay. The other thing is credit. Now, a lot of these programs do have credit restrictions. I'm not gonna, that's a fact. But I actually help people build credit because I do a credit building webinar because I know that that's what holds people back. Here, I'm actually putting a link into the comments right now to register for my next credit repair webinar. But I'm telling you, if your credit scores are above a 580, we've got programs for you today. Okay, so schedule those calls. So if your credit is above a 580, you can get in right away. If your credit score is below a 580, hey, schedule a call with me. If it's above a 560, that's very easy for me to coach you up in a relatively short period of time. If it's below 560, hit my credit repair webinar up. Okay, the other thing is fixed income. A lot of people think if they're on a fixed income, they can't buy a house. Oh, by the way, didn't mention it. This guy right here, Kenneth, he was on a fixed income. He was on Social Security. We were able to get his Social Security amount increased or grossed up to qualify for this house. Okay, so like I said, Don't worry about the money. Like I said, regardless of where your budget is, I work with people that have no money the day that I meet them, but they just have to save over the next 30 to 60 days. If you have the ability to save $1,000 or $1,500 over 60 days, I can get you in. Okay. I routinely help people purchase homes with very little money out of pocket. My biggest asks for you this evening are just a couple of things. Okay. Number one, go out to my Facebook page, go out to my YouTube page and follow me. Give me a thumbs up if you could. And it'll help the algorithm so my message can reach more people. I'm all about trying to help as many people as I possibly can. So I just put a link in for my Facebook page, and here is my YouTube page. Here's my Facebook page. Okay. So here is another success story. Here's one. Tashiana actually tapped into the City of Detroit Down Payment Assistance Program. She bought this home on Rosemont. Purchase price $123,000. The nice thing about this house, the inside was just as nice as the outside. Actually, the kitchen was nicer. So totally redone, top to bottom. She was able to get in with only $500 at the time that we wrote this offer. And then at the time of closing, she just needed $1,000. So with $1,500, she was able to get into this house on Rosemont, qualified for a $25,000 down payment assistance program. So we used $20,000 of the $25,000 for the down payment and then $5,000 for the closing costs. So that's how we structured the deal. So very, very happy for Tashiana. So I get a lot of people that ask, why do I do this? And just to give you a little bit of my story, about 15 years ago, I had a business that was subject to a bookkeeper embezzling and had a very hard ride down. And after that, I had another business that was a victim of the meltdown in 2008. So there were a few things that were coming at me, but I picked myself up, dusted myself off after a bankruptcy, foreclosure, you name it, I went through it. I actually qualified for a down payment assistance program. And right before the closing, the loan officer told me that he didn't apply for it because we didn't need it because I had saved up enough money to actually buy it without. And that still today irks me that somebody made a decision for me because I qualified for it. Now, my wife and I wanted the house badly, so we did go through with the sale. And I do thank him because it's motivated me to get back into real estate and start helping people connect with these programs to make sure that they don't go through what I went through. So that's my why. That's what I do it. So I just love connecting people with these programs, and the people that are doubters or naysayers too. Get those too. So in fact, Kenneth, the gentleman that I told you purchased a home on Vaughn just a few minutes ago, I can tell you firsthand, his family members were telling him, oh, this guy's just taking your money and this and that. I am telling you, this stuff is legit. These programs are out there. They are all over the place, and I love connecting people with them. So with me, you're going to get what I call the straight scoop, okay? I do not like sugarcoating things, okay? The last thing I ever want to do is get you and your family excited for a move and then have the rug pulled out. That is not the way I roll. If it's not going to work today, I'm going to tell you it's not going to work today, but I'm going to give you the tools so it can work tomorrow, okay? I don't know about you, but I've heard many times in my life, I've heard the word no. In fact, I respect the word no when people tell it to me. I don't respect it when people get my hopes up, and worse, get my family's hopes up, and then I got to pull the rug out. So I am all about keeping it real, 100%. So that's what you'll get with me. I kind of wear my heart on my sleeve that way. So I have a passion for helping people with these programs. So with that being said, let's start jumping into some of these topics this evening. Number one, okay, how do we tap into these programs, and what are down payment assistance programs and what are grants? Well, first and foremost, a DPA is a down payment assistance program, okay? Now, 50% of the down payment assistance programs have some type of repayment component with it, where you might have to repay it when you sell the house, or you might have to repay it if you sell it in 3 years. So I always tell people, stay in the home for 3 years. Most of the time, you can keep all the money. There's a state program where you sell it, you have to pay it back. But I always give people the upside and downside for every program. In addition, when people work with me, I'm not going to get you approved for one program. I'm probably going to try to get you approved for 2 or 3 because I want a backup plan. We end up closing, I think it was almost 98% of the people that we work with, we end up getting across the finish line. Sometimes it takes 1 month. Sometimes it could take a couple of months. Sometimes it takes 3 months. Hard to say. Every situation's a little bit different. Sometimes it's not necessarily the buyer. It might be the house. It might be the situation with the house. Maybe it's a short sale or things like that. But anyways, down payment assistance programs typically have a repayment component with it. Grants, those are free money. So we always want to try to grab the grant money first, okay? Now, knowing all these programs that are out there, I developed an application a couple of months ago, and I want to share it with you right now. So if you could, go out to either your Apple Store or the Google Play Store, okay? And I want you to type in no down payment. There you go, like that. Maybe you're going to see it pop up. It's going to look like this, okay? When you pull it up, this is what the application looks like, but let's see what, let's go out to the Google Play Store, and you can get a feel for what it looks like. Okay, you got the Google Play Store. Enter no down payment. See this house right here? Green house with the 0 in it? Download that. That's where you're going to find all the programs that are out there. There's over 2,500 in the database right now. Okay, so now your information there comes to me. I don't sell your information. I may invite you to a webinar. I may tell you about different programs that are in the area, things like that. I don't sell your information. So actually, if you click on this, it'll probably take you. There I am right in the corner. Okay, so this is actually my application. Like I said, it comes directly to me. Okay, now when you go to this app, this is what you're going to see. Okay, you're going to see a place to put in an address. And I always like to put in the house that I grew up in. It's 16801 Lamphere, Detroit, 48219. There you go. 19 programs qualified for. If you want to get detailed, you can enter a sale price, whether you want a single, duplex, triplex, quadplex. You want to put in income. Any information you put in stays here. I don't sell it, but what it does do is it helps filter out programs you might not qualify for. But all you have to do is hit the Get Details button, enter your information, and you are going to get an email instantly. And let's see here. Oops. Show you what it looks like. You are going to get an email that looks just like this. And it's going to list all the programs. So you can see this house qualified for 19 programs, one program up to $25,000. Now that $25,000 can be used for the down payment, and whatever is left over could be used for your closing costs. Yep, so exactly. I've got somebody asking a question. So where you put the address is whatever property you want to put, where you want to move to. It tells you what programs will qualify for on a specific property, because a lot of these programs depend upon where the house is located. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So great tool, 100% for free. Go out to the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. Download that app and you'll be empowered with all the different programs that are available. So, all right, so that's the first thing. Number two, what are the qualifications for a lot of these programs? Well, they have some income restrictions for a lot of them. There are some credit restrictions. They do want a little bit of assets, and the property has to be in a certain livable condition. So, but let's focus on the income first. So, first and foremost, some of these programs you can't make above either 80% or 120% of whatever the median income is. It depends on what program we're going to go for. So that's why I love it when people schedule calls with me, and then I can figure out what area are you moving into. Okay, great. I like these programs. Where's your income? Okay, these ones will fit. And we kind of whittle it down from there. Okay. So like I said, what I want to do is I want to put myself in your shoes and then make that introduction for you. Okay, this is the lender we're going to go with. They're offering this down payment assistance program and this grant. Okay, so I want clarity for you. Okay, so I'm only going to connect you with a loan officer when we have a high degree of certainty that we're going to get you across the finish line. So when it comes to the income restrictions, it changes with every program. The lenders do want to see 2 years of income. Now, that doesn't have to be 2 years straight. If you were off work for 6 months, they'll just go back 2.5 years. They just need to cover a 2-year timeline where you were working. So if you have a break, that's fine. Now, if you're a W-2 employee where they take your taxes out of your pay stubs, great, easy. If you are 1099, they consider that self-employed. Okay, so they want to see your tax returns too. Now, when it comes to your income, they don't want to see more than 45% of your income go to your debt to income ratios. So what does that mean for you? That means if your income is, let's say, $40,000, no more than 45% of that, or $1,800, can go to your new house payment and the debts showing up on your credit report. So if 45% of your income is $1,800, we subtract $400 for a car, maybe another $100 for credit cards or student loans. That leaves $1,300 left over. Right now, $1,300 with minimum down is buying about a $150,000 house in the Detroit metropolitan area. Okay, so very, very lenient on that side. Now, with regards to credit, like I said earlier, I've got a couple of programs that will go down to a 580 credit score and get you in. A lot of them start changing every 20 points. 600 credit score gets you another threshold. 620, if you're above a 680, that's when the doors really start swinging open. If your credit scores are above a 680, we can start stacking a lot of these programs on top of each other. Even better. That's how I got a few of the other people in with so much money. Okay. The big thing with your credit is they don't want to see recent late payments and recent collections. Now, an isolated late payment over the course of a year, we can explain that away, but we don't want to see a ton of late payments in the past 12 months. If it's over 12 months, don't worry about it. I always tell people, if you have collection accounts that are older, please do not pay them. Go to my credit repair webinar. I'll tell you exactly how to tackle those too, okay? And here is another link. I'll put this in here for my credit repair webinar, just so I always tend to get a few people that want to sign up for that. Okay, here we go. Paste. Good. Okay, so I've got somebody asking a question about the last slide. What if I don't have a particular house or address yet, just know I want to buy a home? Absolutely. There are programs that generally cover the Detroit area or southeastern Michigan. Just schedule a call with me, okay? Most people usually have a general area. I can tell you what programs do well in certain counties, areas, cities, things like that. So when it comes to southeastern Michigan, I know the programs, like the back of my hand. It's when we start getting into some of the people out of the area. So it's not uncommon for me to run in, like I said earlier, somebody in San Diego. It's crazy how much money is out there, by the way. If you have family members in other area of the country, California, 161,000. Miami, 200,000. I had somebody in New York the other day, $360,000 in down payment assistance money for a home that was $800,000 out on Long Island. It was just crazy that it qualifies for these amounts of money. So unfortunately, we don't have that much money in southeastern Michigan. There is the Tobias Harris Fund, which is offering $75,000 in the Detroit area, which I'd be happy if anybody wants information on that. I can cover that a little bit this evening too. All right, so anyways, so you got a link to my credit repair webinar. If you need help on that front, let me know. Now, with regards to assets, you don't need a lot of money, okay? If you have $2,000 to $3,000 or have the ability to save that over the course of a couple of months or before closing, you're good. A few of the people that I showed or shared with you this evening came in with, they had no intentions of buying a house. And needless to say, they didn't have the budget right out of the gate. So I work with them. Hey, give us $500 when we make the offer or get the offer accepted, okay? A week or two later, you need to pay for the appraisal, or maybe at closing another $500. So we'll structure it however works for you and your family's budget. Okay, so I just need to know. Communication for me is key. So, oops, sorry about that. Okay, and then the last thing, as far as the houses need to be in good habitable condition. These loans do not work well with major fixer-uppers. And what I mean by major, if there is no kitchen, it's not going to work. No bathroom, not going to work. It has to have a functioning kitchen and bathroom. Okay, all right. Next thing I want to talk about, how do I structure these deals to get people in with just a couple $1,000s out of pocket? Well, if you look at the left side of this slide, you'll see basically the down payment is always going to be covered with these programs. So don't worry about a down payment. That's my job. Closing costs, that most times we can get that covered, but typically closing costs right now in southeastern Michigan are running about $6,000 to $7,000. Now, if the program doesn't have the ability to do that, we can certainly ask the seller to pay some of your closing costs. That's easy enough. So we get your seller to pay, say your closing costs are $7,000, okay? Keep in mind, you need to have 1% out of pocket. So if you're buying, in this case, a $150,000 house, you're going to have $1,500 into the transaction. So if your closing costs are $7,000, we'll subtract $1,500. That still leaves $5,500. So if we get the seller to pay $3,000, that takes you down to $2,500. Suppose I could ask the lender. We can get lender credits back on different programs. I had one today. They were like, hey, we're short $2,000. Well, why don't we do this with the lender, and we can buy up the interest rate and get money back to cover your closing costs. There's so many different, in fact, that's the way I always buy houses, because I don't like paying closing fees. So it's more of an advanced maneuver, but there are other ways to get things done. There's lots of levers to pull and buttons to push. Another one, this was actually a local bank. We got approved at Flagstar Bank. Hey, all you got to do with Flagstar is go open a checking account for $25, and guess what? They give you a $500 credit to your closing cost. Open up a savings account, another $500. A lot of ways to chip at those closing costs. So, and I am used to that. So, anyways, a lot of ways to get us across the finish line. And for example, on a $150,000 house, like I said earlier, the average payment's coming in about $1,300. As you can see on this fictitious house, payments were coming in at $1,314 a month, about what you paid for a 2-bedroom apartment, and now you actually own the house. Amazing how that works. Okay, next thing, finding homes. I always tell people it is never too early to start looking for homes, okay? And I know most people tell you first thing you do is get pre-approved and stuff like that. I'm telling you, the first thing you do is you start looking at houses. see how your money spends. Okay. We want to make sure it's worth getting it pre-approved. Okay. I always tell people, get in tune with the market, see how your money spends. That way, when the time comes, you're an educated consumer. When value is placed in front of you, you won't think twice. You'll just jump right on it. Okay. So it's never too soon for you to start looking at houses. Me, the first step is download the No Down Payment app, because all lenders do not offer all programs. Okay. I mentioned Flagstar Bank earlier. There might be the Tobias program, Guild Mortgage. Okay. There's a lot of other. Bank of America has a lot of money. Okay. There are a lot of different programs and a lot of different banks out there and a lot of different lenders. They're all different when it comes to getting these down payment assistance programs and grants, and they all don't do them. So that's why I like to learn your story and put myself in your shoes. Now, if we're going to be able to tap, a lot of people tap into a $25,000 program. Heck, I've got people done with credit scores down to 540 on those City of Detroit programs. And by the way, if your credit score is lower, I'm going to encourage you, if you're looking in the city right now, there is chatter that $25,000 program could be coming back anytime soon. So the funding has been requested from the feds, and it's just the feds are shut down right now, so it's probably not going anywhere until that's resolved, but it could hit us by the end of the year. And what's going to happen is once that money hits, there'll be a big thing in the news and the floodgates will open. In my mind, you need to start getting your ducks in order, in a row right now. Get everything in order. That way, when that money drops, you're ready to roll. So, and that starts by scheduling a call with me so I can make sure that you and your family are in the position to take care of it. Okay. So, and get to know the area that you're looking in, like I said, because once those floodgates open, things move quickly. So, how do we find quality homes? I always tell people, try not to focus on the homes that hit the market today. That's where everybody races to and overpays. Okay. I find that right now, oddly enough, there are a lot of deals that are falling apart. And they're falling apart because people were overpaying, appraisals didn't come in, things like that. Lenders giving out pre-approvals that weren't legitimate. There's a lot of reasons deals fall apart. But I tell people, focus on those ones that have been around for 2 to 3 weeks. You're dealing with sellers that maybe overpriced their home in the beginning and now are coming to the realization that they might need to negotiate a little bit. So now the sellers start chasing the market, and it puts you in a better negotiating position. In addition, some of these houses might be on the market because maybe there's a little bit more maintenance with them. Maybe the taxes were too high. Maybe they had some assessments. Could be a lot of different reasons. Either way, we can look at that house and figure that out on our own, and whether or not that will accommodate your budget. Okay, so I find that you get better success rate and better quality houses if you hit that 2 to 3 week mark. So the other thing I want to do is, as you're looking for houses, I want you to really start focusing on the images. When you look at the homes online, look at the roof. Does it look like it's in decent shape? Do the ceilings in the house look like they're not stained or spotted? Are the floors in the basement, or is the carpet in decent shape? So those are signs of wear and whether or not the home is maintained well. Okay. And the basement. In my mind, when I go to show a house or I look at a house, I'm walking up, I'm looking at the roof. How much life is on the roof? Then I'm looking at the outside, the brick. Is the brick tight? If it's not, is the foundation shifting because the brick may be cracking? Then I want to get in that basement. The basement tells the story. Is it a dry basement? Okay, number one. So for me, dry basement, good roof, and hopefully some windows that aren't too old, because there's nothing cheap about window companies right now. So the other things like updated kitchens, bathrooms, yeah, that's nice, but it's not the end all be all. We got to have a good quality house, and that's what I think you get by looking for those other items. Okay. All right. The next thing, experience is what gets these deals across the finish line. So please do not call lenders directly and think that you're going to get anything short of a very frustrating process. And the reason that is, not all loan officers are familiar with working with these programs or getting people across the finish line. In fact, I've had people that come to my webinars and then call like Bank of America or Flagstar and ask for these programs, and they just get a loan officer that will actually sometimes try to even talk them out of this program. And I actually sometimes have to insert myself in the conversation, go, no, they qualify for this program. That's what we want. I can't tell you how many times I get calls from loan officers that go, hey, John, I see you want to use this down payment assistance program. Do you know that they had money in their retirement account? We can just use that and not have to do it. And I'm like, no, that's not what we're here for. We're here for down payment assistance. There's going to come a day where they're going to need that retirement money. Okay. Trust me, I'm 60 years old right now. I'm probably never retiring. I just love what I do. But there are a lot of people that are getting older, and that retirement money is going to be important, especially if you're young and it compound interest over time. So don't let anybody talk you out of using any of these programs. It's not rocket science, and it's not difficult to do it. It's really like one more piece of paper for them to do or file, or one more underwriter to put it past. It's not that big of a deal. So please do not let an inexperienced loan officer or agent be your learning partner on these transactions. Make sure that you hitch your wagon to experience, because that's what's going to get it done. Now, if you need an introduction, please let me introduce you to loan officers at any one of the companies that are listed on the down payment assistance programs. I have contacts at all of those places. My concern is that when you have a bump in the road, if it's a loan officer I don't know, they're not going to allow me to insert myself in the conversation to help get you across the finish line. Okay. And that does routinely happen. Okay. Before I got back into real estate 12 years ago, I spent over 25 years in the mortgage world. That's how I know how to tap into these programs, how to structure these transactions, and how to get them across the finish line. And more importantly, if you allow me to make that introduction, it allows me to share your story and why I think this program is the best fit. And for me, communication is key, so I can hold them accountable. Because without fail, I'll get one or two people that go to a loan officer, another company, or wherever, and they call me and say, hey, John, I appreciate it, but this person's not calling me back. And if I don't know them, they're not gonna return my call either. But if it's somebody I recommend, I have no problem jumping on the phone and holding them accountable to get your deal done. Okay. Now me, I am a realtor by trade. My goal is to help you identify all of the programs that you can qualify for, stack as many as we can to get you with as little money out of pocket as possible. I also want to help you find the best quality homes in the areas that you're looking, and make sure when we're writing those offers up that we are structuring it in the best way for you and your family. And sometimes we need to get creative, okay? And without fail, there's always going to be mortgage bumps. There's going to be bumps in the road, always. And that's what I'm here, is to help you navigate those bumps and get you across the finish line. And most importantly, keep your numbers at the end the same as what I tell you and loan officer tells you in the beginning, okay? Doesn't happen very often, but once or twice a year, I actually have to go, hey, we missed the mark on something. I told them X, I need to adjust my commission. I need to do something to get them to X, okay? That's just the way I roll, okay? So keeping those numbers in alignment is very important to me, and working within your family budget is very important to me, because sometimes I feel like just because you make X, I think sometimes loan officers will qualify you for X, okay? And that's not it. I mean, nobody wants to give all of their check to a mortgage company. We have budgets, we have kids, and I feel like we need to keep your budgets in alignment as a result. So that's just how I roll, and that's my way for interviewing to be your realtor down the road, I guess. So here's one more experience. Here's April. April is another person. She actually ran the table on this one. This was a house actually on Philadelphia, and her and her husband James, James is actually an author. He's got like 12 books on Amazon, and I'm enjoying reading his antics of growing up in the city. It's all about the city of Detroit. So really great reads, short stories. So, but anyways, April, his better half, as I will say, purchased this home on Philadelphia. April received $32,000 on this house. We were able to get this one under contract for $80,000, and she qualified for $32,900 in down payment assistance program and grants. She qualified for $25,000 from the city, 3% gift, $5,000 for her closing costs, and another $500 for her appraisal. So she ran the table with grant money on this one. So extremely happy. It's been a few months. I owe them a phone call just to see how they're doing. So anyways, that being said, let me start getting some of these questions in here. Please start typing up some questions. All right. So so it looks like most people are concerned with the credit. Like I said, I've got that credit repair webinar. Please register for that. So got it. So Armando, so please, if you want to schedule a call with me, always happy to learn your credit situation, put myself in your shoes, and give you the tools to get where you need to be and give you a time frame for it. So for example, on my credit repair webinar, I give people the best practices and what you don't want to do. Okay, like don't pay off your collection accounts until we talk. If you pay off a collection account, you could reactivate it and bring your scores down even more. So little things like that that you just don't want to do. So please sign up for my credit repair webinar. Got it. Okay. How do you schedule a call? Oh, good question. Let's get that up here. Where are we? Right here. Okay. No down payment required.org/book. This is to book a call on my calendar. Yep, Egypt, just click that link and here. Even better. Here's my cell phone number. I mean, schedule a call on my calendar, okay? Or call me directly. Now, I always tell people I am a phone jockey. I am on the phone all day, every day. I try to answer my calls as they come in if I have time. If not, leave a voicemail or better yet, text me, okay? Everybody's life is busy. I totally understand that, but every now and then my calls can't make it. So I have a few minutes of idle time. I'll call you back with one of those calls that can't make it. Or I promise you I will call you back by the end of the day, or we'll pin down a time that works for you on the fly, okay? So that's my cell phone number. Please, leave a message or text me and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So this evening, we've covered a few things, and I know I kind of went through this stuff very quickly this evening, and I apologize for that. We went over the 2,300, or actually 2,500 programs, the different qualifications, how to structure transactions, how to find quality homes, how to get free quality experience representation, and more importantly, I want to give you the one program that top pick. Here it is. Okay, so if there are any people, and the reason I'm pushing this one out this evening, it's a lot of money and it's only a couple of slots left. This is the Tobias Harris Homeownership Initiative. This is a former Detroit Pistons basketball player is committing $75,000 to roughly 30 families. We have about 5 or 6 spots left. Now, that $75,000 will go to your down payment. Now, that's a lot of money. What are the qualifications for this program? Great question. Thank you, Armando. This one does require a 620 minimum credit score. So if you have your credit scores in the high 500s, I can probably coach you where you need to be in a short period of time, depending upon what's dragging your scores down. Definitely schedule a call with me. Now, this program is only available in 9 zip codes. Whoops. And here, let me try to zoom in a little bit. It's hard to do. Let me see if I can go here. I don't know if you can see it, but very nice zip codes, by the way. You've got the Bagley Gardens University District, 48221, the Morningside East English Village area, 48224, Grandmont, Hubble-Linden area, 227, Eastern Market, 207, Franklin Park, 228, Woodbridge, 208, Dexter, Linwood, Jameson, 206, Regent Park, Franklin, Maple Ridge area, 48205, and East Village and Indian Village, 48214. So very lenient on income. They will go up to 120% of the median income. So that takes us up to probably, if your income's under 90,000, I'm guessing that would probably do, maybe 80,000 might be a max income on this one, but $75,000. So think of it this way. I have a lady that we just got approved for it. She's buying a home for $187,000 is what it was. It was 187. She's getting the whole 75,000. Her landlord, once the seller of the house, is giving her a gift of equity of 25,000. So it's bringing her loan amount down to about $87,000. Her payments are coming at like $678. That's the power of that huge down payment. And the payment includes her taxes and insurance. Okay. She's actually using this in the University District area, is where she lives. So extremely happy for Miss O'Neill. She is going to just clean up, and I have to apologize for what I said earlier about landlords, because her landlord, LaDon, man, what a gift. That man is a gift to the area. The fact that he's giving his tenant $25,000 because she's been a good tenant for many years to get her across the finish line. With her, it was a fixed income. So that's why we had to get the loan amount down where it was, because just to qualify. So, but she's been paying, I think it's like $1,100 in rent, and now her payment's going to be $700. Crazy. So very, very happy for her. So those are the qualifications on that. So if you need help coaching on that credit side for a quick bounce, that's actually what my webinar is designed for, is to give people a 60-point bounce in their credit in 60 days. So that's what it is called. So anyways, we'll go back. As far as recapping here, we also went over, gosh, all of these steps already. So let me get some of the questions here. What other questions do we have in our chat room? So I always ask people, what would this mean to you? Is always a key question. So I find that the biggest part of my job is building hope. And I don't take that lightly, because hope is a great thing when you have it, but I find that there are a couple of generations, the Ys and Zs, that are giving up on it. So I feel like hope is not plentiful in a lot of areas. So I don't toss that word around lightly, because it means something. Um, one of the worst things people can do is build up hope and not deliver. But I think it's important that we do have it, be it hope in finding a home, hope in your family, hope with your maker. I mean, there's a lot of, we've got to have hope. And I find that that's in short supply right now, at least with a lot the communities that I tend to work with. So, um, so if you do have any friends or family members or anyone that you feel could benefit from the services that we try to provide to people on the educational content side, we are now putting together a whole platform to do this. And I'm just going to take a moment to just give you a feel for where our own the roof model is going. And if you'd be so kind to indulge me, this is our website that we're building. We are 100% committed to teaching renters how to tap into down payment assistance programs and break this renting cycle. So this is kind of turning into a national endeavor for us, but I would never say anything less than my heart is in southeastern Michigan. But we are committed to helping people across the country with this application and everything that we do. In fact, we actually have a couple of books that we've written on it that we'll be launching in the next couple of weeks. So we're trying to make these, they're going to be for sale on Amazon, but people that come to my webinars or get to refer to me, I'm just going to be giving these books away because I think it's important to get this educational content out to people so they realize that these programs do exist. I think people hear about people that get access to them, but they never get connected with someone that shows them that path from A to Z. And that's really what I try to do. So, Myasia, Taylor, thanks so much for the information. Looking forward to working with you in the near future. I have to leave, but watch the ending on Facebook or YouTube. Thank you so much for attending, Myasia. So I hope our paths cross again real soon. Any questions, never hesitate to reach out to me. Anybody else have any comments or questions? What does the word pre-approval mean? Great question. So pre-approval, it actually means a few different things to many people. So I take a pre-approval is the fact that a lender has verified your credit, okay? So they're going to see where your FICO scores are because that's what they look at in the mortgage world. They look at the FICO scoring models 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if you have the ability to get those scoring models, you're on target. You know where your credit scores are that relate to the mortgage world, number one. Number two, they're going to verify your income. Okay, those are the two biggest things, credit scores and income. And then ideally, we want them to run you through an automated underwriting system. And that's just someone that's going to get an automatic approval for you. Okay, from there, that's enough for us to run with confidence that you're going to get approved for whatever grant and down payment assistance program. So a pre-approval is just that you've taken the initiative to step up and get those documents into the lender and let them do a little bit of investigative work up front. So that's a pre-approval. Now, a lot of lenders will give pre-qualifications, and not that those don't have any merit, but as long as they've looked at your credit, that really tells the story for me. But the credit and income, I mean, a lot of people will tell you, oh, they want to verify your assets too, and your bank account stuff, and I get that, but like you heard from me earlier, that's the easy part. Don't worry about the money. I find ways to get the money portion done. So, but anyways, this is my website that we are currently building. You can see the publications, the free books, the webinars. We're actually building out courses so we can teach people how to do this on a faster pace than these one-on-one consultations that I do. Some people want to learn at their own speed, and we're going to put together the no down payment guide, how to fix your credit fast guide, and how to structure transactions so you can get in with very little money out of pocket. Not rocket science, but I just find that I don't know anybody that's offering all of these things in a one-stop shop, let alone giving this stuff away. Once people go to my webinars, if you need access to this stuff, I give it away. I mean, I know it says purchase now, and our goals are, if you're in southeastern Michigan, you get everything. That's where my heart lies. When we roll this out nationally, that's when we're going to start charging for the price of admission. Okay? Make sense? Armando, great. Looking forward to talking to you. Kim, you are welcome for the information. Condo life is not for you. Condo life, there's some goods and there's some bads. I mean, I enjoy gardening. So I enjoy going out in my yard and getting my hands dirty whenever I can find the opportunity. Past 12 months, I've been past few months, I actually received a calling. That's why I'm doing all of this stuff. I've been called because I feel like there are so many people that need help out there. So, but yes, I get it. Home ownership, being in a house, something about the privacy, something about, there's a lot of things, pride of ownership, as they say. So, Armando, because I've heard a lot about some of these programs, but don't want to know how to tap into them, I've never heard someone walk me through it and attempt to actually get me in a home. Armando, that's what it's all about. I mean, it's maybe it's not about you, but because I know it's not about me, it's about my family. So I find if we keep that mindset, good things happen. So Egypt, I thank you very much. I look forward to hearing from you. Yes, Kim, exactly. Good. Well, I can't thank you all enough for showing up this evening. Looks like the weather's finally changed for us, so I don't know that that's. We certainly could use the rain. I know my garden's been dry this August and September, and I feel like things didn't really change with the colors. They just kind of died on the vine this year. So I don't mind the rain so much right now. We needed it, but anyways. So you can see if you ever want to see my events coming up. We are going to be doing an event page too, where we will have all of the webinars I'm doing. If you do need that credit class, we haven't migrated that over to the webinars yet, to the new platform. But here, if you go out to my credit repair, you'll be able to log in here and register for my credit repair webinar. Looks like the next one is going to be on Saturday, November 8th. Okay. So, and on that webinar, I go over everything. What goes into your credit scores, what scores count, how to handle collections, repossessions, bankruptcy, student loans, all the tools that are out there so you can get a quick spike in your score, and more importantly, what not to do. And sometimes people have no credit. Oh, here's a perfect example. I had a lady that I mentioned earlier reached out to me through the no down payment application and in San Diego. And so, I mean, other side of the country, she has no credit. What are we going to do? We're going to build credit for her. So we are going to take things that she pays, Netflix, car insurance, rent payments. We're going to take all of those things. She's got more stuff that she pays on a monthly basis, where we can get those added to her credit report to create a credit profile to get her approved for a program. Okay, it's work, but I align myself with loan officers, and this particular one is with Flagstar Bank. He's going to gather all that information and create a credit profile for her so we can get her across the finish line. Okay, so that's what it means. Sometimes it's a bumpy road, but it doesn't mean no. It's just a little bit more work. Might take her a couple more weeks, but we'll get her there. Okay, patience and persistence, and good things tend to happen. So I'm glad you registered, Kim. So anyways, any other questions this evening? Looks like we still got a good 10 people online right now, so want to make sure that I am attentive. I'm going to jump out and see if there's anybody on Okay, let me get this out on my Facebook and YouTube. Here is a calendar to book a call with me. So take me up on that. Here is my phone number, 248-252-7283. Feel free to call me directly. If I'm not available, like I said earlier, please leave a voicemail or text me. Great way to get in contact with me. And then I will put in, here we go, the credit repair webinar as well. You're already on Facebook or YouTube, so please follow me if you could. Always love more followers, the better. I guess that helps the audience grow naturally. So, so always love to see that. And trying to think of anything else. I guess that should probably wrap it up this evening, unless we have any other questions here. All right. Well, thank you all very much for attending this evening. It's been a pleasure. I hope you got some good educational content this evening. If there's ever anything I can do for you or your family with regards to real estate or connecting you with some of these down payment assistance and grant programs, I hope you're able to tell I love what I do. I love helping people on this, and any coaching that you need to transition you and your family into home ownership, I'm all about that. So use me as a resource. I love what I do. Thank you so much for attending this evening. Have a good night and hope our paths cross again soon. Take care.